what we would, I guess, all of us would appreciate in storytelling is those timeless ideas, because those are things that any person from any walk of life, from anywhere on earth, could reconcile and could identify with. Whereas what you get now is ideas that are particular to, say, California in current year, because those are the things that are relevant to the writers, and it's like that's not gonna last. People aren't going to look back on this 30, 40, 50 years from now and say, wow, that was an incredible story. That's just designed to appeal to the here and now and be disposed of, and then you move on to the next thing. It's a short-lived gain for no long-term benefits.
But it's very short-sighted, don't you think, Critical?
It absolutely is, yeah. But it's like they can't... I don't know if it's like they don't care, or they literally lack the storytelling ability to look beyond what's literally right in front of them.
Yes,
that's all they can
the answer to that. Yes is the answer to that. They don't care and they lack the ability.
But they have to continue moving forward, because they have to create. They have to have a bottom line, though.
It's part of the. Chris Gore's brought this up, and I mean, people who have worked in the industry will be more familiar. The only job that matters is, especially when you're contracted, is the one right in front of you, and you don't give a fuck about the legacy of Marvel, or and the things the fans don't, and that's why there's so much crap out there, because they're making more scripted entertainment than they ever have in history, and there just isn't enough talent. There isn't, and now you make it worse by not hiring on merit. You're casting people.
Quota.
You're just fulfilling a quota. It's affirmative action. That's all it is. And you know what? To the credit, Drinker knows this. There are some people who figured that out, who worked there and went, shit, I was just hired for my skin color and my name. I was not and the way my name looks on the credits, not my name as in what work I've done.
Or because I specified a way to cancel Batman. That could have been why they hired me.
Wow.
Oh, that's bad. Yes.
Should we talk a little bit about that, actually?
Yeah.
That's a neat little segue, Mahler, so fair play.
Not when you highlight it. Now it's ruined.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'll move right into it.
Can I just chuck in one other idea about that? I was thinking about this the other day. The imposition of identity politics, how jarring it would be if the shoe was on the other foot. Mm-hmm. So if you have, for example, that comic that got cancelled, the gay Superman, which came out.
Yes.
Imagine how it would be if you had the equal and opposite. If you had a conservative writer who had like the notion to take the character who wants to go back to his family's Kansas roots and discovers evangelical Christianity and wants to spread that message. Everyone, like liberal people in Hollywood, would have a fit. They'd have conniptions if that was the case. But that's literally the equal and opposite. So it shows how jarring that identity politics is.
Well, that's the thing. It only ever swings one way. But like, I would argue that storyline that you've just described has every right to exist just as much as any kind of left-leaning liberal
absolutely.
Kind of idea.
Well, that's how they balance them.
Yeah, they're all just ideas that you can present to your audience. It's up to them if they want to consume it, if they want to believe into it, or whatever. But the prevailing wisdom in Hollywood has been like, no, we only can present you with one idea and one set of ideas coming from one specific direction, because that's the only correct way of thinking about the world now.
Well, that's what Thomas Sowell said in 1995, and he keeps saying, is you have these people in Hollywood who have decided to go, if you will just do what we tell you to do, the world will be perfect. They want to control the culture. I mean, that's their bottom line. I mean, that's how we end up with it.
Yeah.
But this is why this stuff is interesting, because, you know, what is it they say? Like, politics flows downstream of culture. Like, it's a reflection of cultural beliefs and cultural norms. It's basically like whatever way the winds are blowing, politics will realign itself to work with that. And so movies, stories, you know, TV shows, whatever, like that is the thing that helps to shape the culture that we live in. So it's kind of important that you get a balance there. And I'm not like, and this isn't me sitting here saying like, well, it needs to be right wing instead of left wing. No, it needs to be fair and balanced. There needs to be a diversity of opinions and ideas. Yeah, and it needs to be good quality as well. Yeah.
And artists know this. Artists know that it's better for art. Like, thankfully, Quentin Tarantino just came out and said we're in the worst era of film ever, which I could not agree more with.
He's fucking right.
Fucking right. Yeah.
Controversial. He's just stating a flat out objective fact.
Dude, I love that because like we've been told for so long, like you guys have been over dramatic. It's one of the best times for film. Again, blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, Quentin Tarantino just said it. All the other fucking directors, the legacy directors, they've been pissed for years now.
And
yeah, it's like if you don't want to listen to us, fine. But like these guys at least have earned your trust to some extent, and even they are saying this is fucking shit. This era that we live in, this is going to be looked back on by future generations as a time of fucking woe. Because it deserves that criticism.
It does.
Martin
but
Scorsese said that comment about films. What was his comment? Martin Scorsese's film about like their like food or consumption.
Marvel is basically anti-art, basically.
They're roller coasters. They're not like true art.
So if you got Tarantino and Scorsese on the same page, that's kind of like.
Well, and Coppola said, I think he shout on it as well. Dude, just find a director that you know and love from decades ago, and they've probably shout on Marvel if they've even watched it.
Well, Michael Mann has always said Hollywood operates on the simple principle of they have to live in denial, to not know what they know. They have to walk around and go, this is not reality.
Yeah. Oh, and they do it. They're really good at it. Very, very convincing, George. I think, like occasionally when we get something artistic, like Everything Everywhere All at Once or The Northman, it's like, it's just that much better because we were surrounded by so much shit. And it feels like we are coming out of it, and I don't know where the new stuff. I think it fragments. Personally, I don't think it's going to be centralized in Hollywood anymore, which is a good thing.
I think you made a video about this just recently, and you made the point that Warner is probably going to do best out of all this because they have realized first before anyone else that they have to change tactics, and they have to abandon this woke, politically motivated activist garbage, and they have to get back to making movies that actually people want to see. And Disney are taking longer to reach that conclusion. All the other major studios are taking longer, but they will eventually get there. It's just a question of how much money they have to lose before they realize it.
Yeah, you got to hit bottom. It's kind of like the principles of alcoholism. You got 4 alcoholics. 3 of them are functional. 1 of them is just a flaming disaster, but that guy hits bottom and that guy gets sober and has a longer and more meaningful life because he figured it out, because he hit bottom. And that's where Warner Brothers could be if they could pay off their billions of debt. Right. And the one way to do that is like, hey, let's make a Superman movie. Maybe people still like this Harry Potter thing. Wow.
Do people like Superman?
It's like, do they want to see? Do they want to see a race swapped Superman? Probably not. No.
Didn't that die on the vine with J.J. Abrams and his black Superman?
The last thing I read about this is it's still apparently in the works, but nobody's talking about it really. And
dude, I die like female Pirates of the Caribbean died.
Yeah, it's going to go the same way as fucking Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy. It will just get quietly shelved.
And quite frankly, we have a great female pirates movie. The thumbnail for this particular live stream, one of the better.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one. It's also the most expensive. At the time, it was the most expensive porn ever made.
The storytelling is just fantastic. The character work, the themes.
The production values shine through. Like I had a fantastic time watching that.
Do you know how much money they put into the most expensive porn ever made? It was like a couple of $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty good though.
And what were the returns
for a porn movie?
What were the returns? Yeah. Did it get a wide release? Did it go into local
very, very well. It was early 2000s. It did very well.
What was it? 20 Girls, 1 Cup? What was it?
20 girls, 1 ship, basically. Yeah.
Hey, 20 girls, 1 booty.
If we'd had more time for this, like planning this stream, I could have tried to get one of the actors in for this. That would have been amazing.